So what am I doing at a doll and toy sale? Well, I'm taking a chance is what I'm doing. Apparently they've moved a big estate sale that's mostly dolls and toys here, but I saw in the pictures that they also had a bunch of Lucite purses, mesh bags, some jewelry, some boy toys, and some other things I think would be interesting. So this is the place, and it doesn't look super crowded, so I think it's going to be okay for me to go in. This place is just full of dolls and toys, and a lot of them are going to disappear before I can get to them. But we'll just see what we get to see.
Okay, so I had to put the camera down because I walked up to the table with the purses. I was the only one there, and while I was fidgeting with the camera, someone came and grabbed the best Lucite purse on the table. And so before other people came over, I just started going through and grabbing mesh purses and plastic purses, and wow, I got a really good assortment. So I'll do a little follow-up on this at the end of the video to show you what I got.
I like the hat pins in the vase. Let's see if they're priced all together for $25 or if they're individual. These are a little later in time by the way they're made. Oh, that's a Swizzy stick. So cute, but I don't think I need them. Hat stands are $8 each. There's a cute hat on that one. Is that one also $8 with the painted floral? Ooh, it is. Now that, to me, is the most interesting of them. And I need something to put my fascinator on. People tell you nobody likes dolls. They really do. I'm trying to stay away from the crowd because I need to. So I'm hanging out where there aren't as many people. And I'm the only one looking at the black Americana. $25 is not a bad price. That seems to be the starting price on a lot of these. Now this one's composition and she's 20. And that's pretty cute with her little dress. So we might take that. The tall one here is a reliable doll. Nice original dress. $85. $30, but she has damage. This one's holding her Bothell. And how much is she? $38. This little girl is $36. I really like the eyes on that one. $6. I think that's a yes. Some boy toys in here too, and we're going to take a look at these because this is another area that people are not really spending a lot of time with. I loved this show when I was a kid. How much is the helmet?
Does it be here?
20. I don't think I need it for nostalgia, but it does look kind of good on me. Not sure what the Jungo target costs. This would be something from the 30s or 40s where you shoot a magnetized dart at it. This was done by Wyandotte. I like it. Maybe I'll put it in my bag and see what they charge. Tonkas. Texaco for $95 isn't a bad price, but it's missing its ladders. They often are. All of these have a little bit of rust. I like the bus. And it says it's a wind-up. $22. I don't see where the winder would be, though. Hawaiian doll here. She's hard plastic, so probably 1950s, though. And she is 16. Because she's Hawaiian, it's tempting. This one has a newer dress. That one is 40. I really like the composition ones more than I like the plastic. Her head's a little loose. She's 25. We have a boy. Boys are usually harder to find than girls. $25. He's sort of a vinyl rubbery material. This is quite a collection. $95. Little boy here. I think he's been redressed. $46. Cute little paper dolls. $9 for 3. These are Dolly dolls from 1949. I will take those. 2 dolls for $25. Jointed disc. These are made in Japan in the 50s. I think those maybe worth it. I think the Steiff table is next for me because, again, I'm trying to avoid the crowds. And besides, Steiff made some really good stuff. It all has the button in the ear. This one has its tag. 48. A little more than I'd want to pay. That one's not Steiff. 36. I think this is the Steiff. Yes, Jumbo is 45. The B and it's 225. That's a fair price, but not a reseller price. The lion is cute. 75, yeah. The prices on the Steiffs are, other than the newer ones like this guy, are really not a bargain. Is this a set? I think it is. 95. Mary Thought Bear. They were very popular in the 80s and 90s. Baby grand piano is $16. There is a call for little children's pianos. This one may be a little too small. The people I know who buy these actually are people who do music professionally, and they like the sound. Hanky doll, these are really cute. Handkerchief wrap, $16. This is one of the puppets. I've always liked the puppets. They don't sell for as much, though. 45 is my retail. This one is Goond. Goond was out of New York City. They made some cool stuff, but this guy's missing his eyes. Most of the stuff here is in really good shape. Okay. This little monkey is 29. Here's a table of some different stuff, including a celluloid box that I really like. And it's $20. The interior is slightly spotted. This is from about 1900. It's a little gone on the corner. Otherwise, I would take that. Here's some Bepper jewelry. This is Victorian Revival from the 50s. And it is signed as Carew, which is actually a pretty decent brand, but they want $29. And it's not really a look that sells for me. This one is signed. It's Craft. Not a big deal signature, but signatures are nice. And it's $16. I like this. It looks 30s. Oh, they're selling the pillow with the 6 brooches. That one's good, and that one's good. And the rest I don't care about. And I wouldn't pay $18 a piece for them, unfortunately. Let's look at these that are individually priced. $8 on the dome. It's just a nice color. I think we'll take that. That makes me think this one, though, see, this is 18. It is a little bigger. Rhinestone swoosh from the 50s is 12. That's not bad. This one's a little more interesting because it dangles, but it has some dead stones. See the ones that have turned gray? The black is a good look. It's Weiss, 12. Yeah, for a Weiss pin like that, I would take that. Cute little fill box. This may be Florenza with all the jeweling. And they want 22. That's a Cliff. Interesting looking. Compacts. Let's see. This one's 16. It's a little strange. I like it, sort of. This one's more of a coin purse with the guilloche. Now that's nice. 22. That actually is probably worth getting because the guilloche and the rose painting. Yeah, and it's a tough. Heavens, yeah, that's a nice one. We'll take that. Here's one like it that is just plain. This little kill box is 15. I like this combat. The mirror is broken. We can have that fixed, but it would have to be very inexpensive, and it's not. This one is one that would have hung up at the flapper's arm. $30 is not a bad price. This is interesting looking. It's rather old. Difficult to open, but this is Victorian. It has almost a tortoise shell look in there. In fact, it may be tortoise shell. When it's antique, you can sell this in some places. Charles X. That's a good piece, but I'm not sure I'd be able to sell it because of the material. Old button case is cute. I like this set. $195 though. There's another nice set. Victorian with all the sewing implements. But I don't think that's going to be cheap either.
There's it up. Here's
That's a cute hat stand. Here's a bunch of little plastic dolls and this dolls and a lot of the toys that go with.
no, I will find it back.
16 on that from about 1900. I think some of the carriages and things might be more interesting. 26 on that. 20 on that.
Yeah, it is so cute. I decided to get this.
Little duggies. The wooden duggy.
A great selection of metal.
Yeah, isn't it cute? All the buggies in one place. It's always fun to have a collection of one thing, yes. These look like they're Renoir. A Renoir product. There are some collectors for the plastics. This little buggy's $12, but the wheel's a little gimpy. Little mohair bear is cute. That one is $12 also. Kitty coach. These are actually pretty common. Oh, that's just the box. Cute old buggy. All of these seem to be 1920s and 30s. $15 on that. Here's some sweet composition dolls. Look at those lips. Yeah, she's a Terry Lee. I thought she was a good one. Priced at $185. Only $25 on this gal. You know, name has a lot to do with it. She's had her hair braided. It looks like it's all there. No identification on the back. So you're basically just buying a cute composition doll from the 1930s or 40s. Would she go for $50? Maybe. If you're enjoying being with my lady friends and I at this wonderful, interesting sale, well, please click thumbs up to let YouTube know. Please also check out our membership options. We have levels 1, 2, and 3, and various perks for each one. You can find out more about that if you look under the dash line in the description of this video. Little Lulu, $48 from about 1950 when she was super popular. Oh, and look at her with her coat and her sort of doleful expression. Yes, Eugenie. Here done in France and New York. And they said this one's 1920s. They're asking $185, but she is a good doll. For Dad on his birthday, $3. This is by Hull Art. Oh, this is fun.
Cute. They just sell them separately.
Look at all the one wishes. Aw, I think I'll get that for $3. Now, this isn't exactly my stuff, but somebody who sews or makes doll stuff would have fun with this. And there are some nice clothes, especially, this is very Victorian looking. Isn't that nicely made? $22. This does seem old. I have to admit, there's something really appealing about that to me. I'm tempted. They have a little boy's wool suit there. You blood the hangers too. That's a cute print. How much is this? $6. That seems pretty good. Lucky number 13. You know, someone else got that piece, and I think they were smart to do it. Let's see what else they have in wheeled toys. This looks like it's in a little better shape. 36. 62 Ford Galaxy promo car. But it's a little damaged. Later Buddy L. think this is from about 1980. And they got the Nyland boy there. Cowboy Joe's musical chuck wagon. That's kind of fun for $10. I'm not sure the music's going to work for that price, though. Another toy piano, kaleidoscope. No, this one doesn't show anything inside. Ring toss game, that's just a good graphic. It's got the rings. Oh, it's missing one of the rings now. Game of the Spider's Web. This is from about 1900 Milton Bradley. It seems to have everything. The graphics would be fun at Halloween. I'm not sure the price, but I'm going to give that a shot. Okay, let's see what we have in battery operated. Peppy Putty. A little yellowed. That happens with those a lot. Climbing Bird Saving Bank. Buddy L. This one is in the original carton. And it's only $8. I think that's a no-brainer. I'm getting quite a bag full. Little dog in the basket. Well, that's cute. But it's plastic, so it's a little later. $20. If it was slightly less, I'd still be tempted. I think I'll leave the box loose for someone else to look at. Chain toys are great. This one's $20. It's a little on the small side. But I like these 30s era wind-ups. That one's a little rusty. Jimmy and the Tina. Yeah, that's a Jimmy Carter thing from the 70s. Rel Kit Carson Western sets. $35. Oh yes, it's got the wagon train and everything. $95. I think that's been restored. Charlie McCarthy up in the back. $125 on the Big Texaco is too close to retail. But $16 on the cast iron. You know, that's pretty good for the bus. I think we'll take that one. This one, the wheels are gone. These are Tootsie Toy the Train. They sell, but not for a ton. Well, we found a few things up here. No one's paying these any attention. This is very cute with the two children, and look how nice the frame is. $45 is tempting because the frame's really good and the image is interesting. And she's holding her doll. I mean, I'd have to get $95, but I think that's possible. I wish it didn't have that crack, though. And this is a great early litho in a nice frame. $145. Yeah, that's more than I would get for it. But it is very pretty. Nancy Ann's storybook dolls. You're charging $5 each. You know, the market for these has improved enough. I would pay that. $15 for 3. I have a customer currently interested in these. And this is the sort of thing everyone else is ignoring. I think I'll take them. One more pack. Yep. The condition seems good on all these. I might have to take a little time to check. But wow, I'm getting a bag full for sure. The Irwin Crawling Baby, I've had this one before. You see it from time to time. It's a wind-up. This one's in the original box. I have a feeling it works. We can test that if we can find the price. Oh yeah, that wants to go. If I wound it a little more, it would go farther. Yeah, we'll try that. Tiny Tears doll for $25. That may be worth getting. Baby won't let go. Baby come back. These are all more recent, but this is actually where the doll market is now, because this is what younger people remember. And isn't this fun? It's the tray with old doctor's kit. $26. Tippy toes, $45. These Swiss dolls are a little too new for me. A newer Charlie MacArthur's. And we got my friend Jenny, Cookie, Nikki, and Mikey. Donny Osmond. I'd rather it was Marie. Well, Donnie is only worth about $35, and so online he sells for $20 plus shipping. So we're going to leave him. Madden Alexander's, not easy to sell these days unless they're the really old ones. Snoopy's wardrobe, that's cute. Umbelina. And Betsy McCall, that's a Carolee collectible doll. A later version of her. Corky and Cricket. There's a bunch of Jill dolls. I like Jill's record hop. Again, these are later plastics. They don't have a big reseller market right now. This is cool. It's a fabric doll. It's Germaine by Audrey Davidson. This is a 1950s doll. You don't see her very often. They want $65. Oh, a Care Bear. Well, that's been long enough that they're asking $36 because people are onto those. Steiff Kubel Cup. It is cute, but they want $40. Oh boy, and they got the doll accessories. Shoes galore. Some more outfits. I think the best ones were the ones hanging though. St. Mold shoes here. These are actual old early 1900s or maybe even late Victorian. No price on those. I like the two-tone. They're a little scuffed, but they're more interesting than a lot of these. This pair, $25. Smartoo. The Steiff Fox, $65 on Team. He is a little harder to find though. I like this old guitar made out of tin. Just a toy, missing a few strings. $12. That has such a rustic feel to it. And I think it was handmade.
Oh, yes.
So even though it's kind of beaten, I think we're looking at something that is really a primitive of a sort. And I'm going to take it. The one I think might be interesting for me would be the alligator, because this could go to Florida if the price is right. But $55 is definitely full price. There's a bunch more of the puppets there. They are cute. Rubber animals. My mother for years looked for my sister's kitty Mew Mew that she had when she was very little and never found her. We see the dogs and the bears a lot. And they squeak. Okay, there is a cat. I don't know if this is Kitty Mew Mew. I don't know if I can tell. Edward Morley. Rubber and plastic goods. Very cute eyes. Well, this one doesn't squeak anymore though. And Mom's not around to ask. I kind of forgot that there was a bunch of jewelry in the ads. There wasn't anything amazing. There were some cute pieces. Maybe I missed out, or maybe no one looked at this. $12 isn't bad on that because of the colors being nice. Red crystals here for $8. Those are glass, and they're nicely faceted. I think I'm getting that one.
Oh, look at the truth.
Isn't that cute? That's Victorian.
That is really...
$36. That's actually not a bad deal.
No, but my girlfriend gave me one.
Oh, neat. Now let's look at these thimbles, just because this Chinese with the cloisonne is kind of neat. They're asking $8 for all of them. It's actually a pretty good deal, but most of these are $1 each for me. This one, however, is Bing & Grondel with the mermaid in Copenhagen Harbor. Yeah. There's a couple of those in there. This is probably worth getting. It's a little more interesting than the average thimbles. Royal Worcester. I think I may have sold myself. Frame corners. Those could certainly be useful.
Ну ладно, Саня, пойду. Потом позвоним.
Re-signed broches, but they're not terribly interesting. These are space needles. Yeah, I have call for those.
Doing some eBaying?
A little bit.
Or are you recording, telling people what to put? Look what I found.
A little of both. Yeah, the jewelry's okay. Military pins. Stationery, that's cute. Marimba takes your music lesson. Oh, I'm sure that opens up and there's a fun backdrop for dolls.
I have a necklace and earrings like this one.
Oh, I like those with the clear, yeah. That's a nice big jewelry casket for $25. The size is great. The condition, oh yeah, it's a little aged and worn through. That is a cool needle face. A little bit of the finish is off, but that's pretty good. That's Victorian. And there's a souvenir one, and that's a good price here. Put that in our bag. Little Asian bottles. Wish I read the language.
These pills are all birches together on the pill. And like there you see them.
These are neat little sewing implements and a cigarette holder. Oh, they say they're all smoking related. I think I'm going to have to take these out and look. Well, looky there. That is a telescoping cigarette holder from Asia with a fish. It's been used a bit. But I do like cigarette holders. Let's see what the third one looks like. Well, because of condition, I'm going to leave those even though I like them. Miniature razor. Some other sundries. Those are cute. This bob says it's a chatelaine top. I guess that makes sense. Love the little flapper brushes. I don't see a price on those. I like the one on the left the best. We'll put that in our bag and see. Happy birthday, dear Jody. $12, but it's kind of loose. And then there's this celluloid. She's got a pretty face. And this one is not damaged. It held something specific that's gone. Probably a little cuticle set or something. It's $29. Yeah, if it was a little less, I would get it. Bluebird Day. Oh, and look at the Scotty. That's cute. Let's see what the east side looks like. Okay, it's missing the puff. We see these little intaglio trays from the 20s and 30s, but this one has the holder, and it's $22. Cupid awake, Cupid asleep, and Cupid at rest. That's the full set. Very popular in the 1890s. Usually you just see the pair. $12 is not bad. $16 on the larger is not bad. $29 on this. It's got a great free. She's cute with the dog. And only $10. I think that one's a winner. Lots of silhouettes. A bunch with the milkweed background. $12 is not a bad price. If they were a little less, I would grab it. This one's only $6 and it's got the gold. I like that. Same with her. She's sweet too, but the bonnet's a little incomplete. And then there's a big one with the milkweed. You have a whole box of them back here. She's sweet dancing for $8. But see, these are priced a little more. Someone else priced these. I'm going to take the $6 ones. And then they have still banks. These are more typical kind that you see, but I like these by Stevens in the back here. They want $75 each. You see a lot of the State Bank. They look like little safes, but that's only $16. It's not hard to figure out the combinations on these.
That's not all.
$12 on this one. Well, that's the best deal yet. But it's kind of sloppy in the paint. The Kenton 6-shooter. I just heard someone pick this up and say, oh, that's not old. But yeah, it absolutely is. If it wasn't frozen, I would buy it. Because $10 is a good price, even worn. The little bank buildings, these are among the most common, but they're cute, 16. Little flashlights are 10 each. The Chief garbage can, this was made locally, and this is an advertising piece. They want 25 though. It's not really a salesman sample, they were more of a giveaway. Early tin child's plate. Who killed Cock Robin? This is going to be late Victorian. It's very lightweight. $12 is a pretty good deal though. Look how cute this old carriage is. They want 95 and I don't blame them. Soldier set is 45. Bunch of die cuts here. These are sweet. Ooh, I like this one with the polar bear. $12 is not bad, but you'd have to soak them and hope they came off. These have been set up in frames. Calling cards, reading cards, die cuts. That one's really cute with the animals. $8 on the Tootsie Toy metal furniture. It's a little rough. Otherwise, I get it because this stuff sells well. Chair's almost worth it on its own. Let's see what we have under here. Aw, she's sweet. This was probably a calendar originally. There's a baby round piano that's a little bigger. Seems to all be there. Has the legs. Made in Japan. This is going to be probably a 1930s piece or early 50s. A little bit of made in Japan bled over into the 50s just because it was already there. Yeah, that's a 50s era mark. But I don't know what we are looking at for a price. Do I add it to my huge pile already? Henri wood carvings are definitely something to check out. Oh, she's a little different. I kind of prefer the older ones, honestly. Coast cards, let's see if there are any. No, empty. Empty. Okay, this eyeglass holder is really fun. $20. I mean, there's some room in it because you don't see this one often, but I don't think I would pay that much. Metal frame. The little boy standing in front of the wicker piece. This is $8. Oh, these are cool. These are Betsy Howard dolls. These were done as fundraisers during the Second World War. They have 85 on her. Some composition dolls here. They're saying this one's unusual because it's a flat top. And that is true. You don't see that as often. It's priced at $185 though. I am a fan of old fans. This is a nice celluloid from about 1910 with painting. They're asking $20. That's not a terrible price. And this one, feathers. Definitely Gibson Girl era. That's cute. The feathers aren't falling apart too badly. That matters. 18. Tempting. This is a Kessner doll. It will say so on the back of the head typically. See if we can see that. I'm upside down to it here, but yes, there's the Kessner mark. These are German. They were the less expensive version of fashion dolls. The French ones are the ones that are really big money. But this one they're asking $285. That's not really a price I get these days. This is Coco. You don't see the painted faces as much, but they want $85. $30 on that one is probably reasonable for what it is. I always like the hedgehog. Yogi. Yogi is $25. Not a bad price. A little more than I want to pay. This is a one-day sale. I guess they're going half up in the afternoon. So we can always come back. Aw. Look at the kitty. Sula. 45 on that. Yeah, I think the Steiff are not getting attention for a good reason. We've got Pooh. I think that's supposed to be Snoopy and a kangaroo. 25 for this three. These look like they're ducking. Oh, that's a Roo. Walt Disney. I think I'll take those. Wind-up's all working. His little tail moves, but the elephant is pretty spotted with mold. Steiff kitty is 22. That's not a bad price. Pink elephant. Another kitty. Yeah, this one is by Knickerbocker, and they're asking 45. Push my nose. Okay. Oh. He squeaks. How cute. $30 on the cuppet. That's about retail. Take a look in the scrapbook because if there's something good in it, $12 could be a deal. We're really looking for trade cards that are unusual. Violet cream, that's not uncommon. We're looking for interesting shapes or interesting subjects. English dandelion tonic, that's cute. A lot of these were cut out of magazines at the time. McLaughlin's coffee is fun, but that's common. Stoves and furnaces are sarsaparilla. These are all ones we see. We're looking for stuff like arm implements or...
Just want to look at the cooks. Thank you so much.
Butter's Cove on Puget Sound. That's neat. Ah, Queen Victoria with the Duke of York and the Prince of Wales. Doll parts. This is different. This is an Alabama indestructible doll. You really don't see these often at all. They were done in the 1890s to the early 20s. They're an early composition, hand-painted. They are asking $350. It is a scarce one, though. Sky, the fashion action doll from Kenner. Again, we're starting to see, by this time, which is 1975, we're starting to see dolls that are made for black girls that are realistic depictions. She's a pretty good one. They're asking $68. This is a Madame Alexander that's earlier. Stuffy is his name. It's a boy. It's composition. Those are definitely the ones you want if you're going to collect Madame Alexander, as opposed to the vinyl ones. They're asking $75. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Uncle Tom was a real person, not far from where I stay in Kentucky, and he actually escaped slavery in 1859. So a little different than the story that was told, but the story that was told was very, very influential on the abolitionists and really led to a lot of anti-slave sentiment. I'm taking a chance in hiding my bag in the dirt because it's too big to carry now. $16 each on the Shiny Brights is not a bad price. $125 on the Rhinestone Tree. See more I could buy, but I just am running out of room and money at this point. There's a lot here. These are cute porcelain pieces. There's our mark. This is Carl Enns for Volkstadt. This is me. This is a wax over porcelain doll. Red Riding Hood. I'll touch her very gently. You can feel the wax. And this one they have a huge price on, but those are very hard to find. They mostly melted or were destroyed by their little girl owners. They want $18.50. Here's another wax doll. These are Frederick Thief. She's a little later, wax over porcelain. She looks like Shirley Manson from the band Garbage. This is a nice girandole set with a very pretty flock in the middle. French. Like the rams on the side. This has the French blue. Ah, yes, it's moire. They say it's not working, so it's $350. This is one that would be worth taking and having fixed. This is probably a $900 set. Aw, look at the quintuplets. What a cute set. They certainly had a sad life, but there's a lot of darling things that were made with them. Yeah, this is them around age 4. They're asking $350. Look at the pretty lamp base. Porcelain from about 1920, I would say. Yes, that has a German mark. Little half doll. This is a very nice half doll. $20 is a good price because she's very well painted. And this one's cute. The pincushion with the legs. And $16. Again, I could certainly buy more here. I feel like I got a lot already. $8 on her, but she's a little loose. A Deity baby. This was F&B toys, and these were pretty popular in the 30s and 40s. The almost human doll. Yes, she can nurse. And she came with a diary. And yes, what every young doll mother should know. This is so sweet. And it shows all the things you should do to take care of her and all the other accessories you could buy for her. It's wonderful to see this in such good shape in its original box. They're asking $285. Several German porcelain fashion dolls here, various makers. Really are beautiful. So well made. The eyes, if they show teeth, they're a little more valuable. Yeah, this is another Kessner with a French wig. If their eyes close, they're a little more valuable. Some nice composition dolls here. I like the houndstooth coat. She's a Mary Moyer. Here's an Armand Marseille. The hair has been changed, but it is a boy, and it does seem to have the original outfit, which is not easy to find. They're asking $390. Relative to the other dolls, he's actually a better deal. Here you see how they were made. Typically porcelain head, and then you had a kid skin body, and porcelain hands, and cloth at the bottom. And they're jointed, so the legs move a little bit. Here's another hand-painted one. This is a Martha Case doll, a boy again, from about 1920. They're asking $245. Look at this fine young man with all the jewels and the great flows. This is a Kappeldorf from Germany. He has a powder horn. He's cool. $245. Even the shoes are original. Originality matters a lot on dolls. This little girl is Betty Bells in a period-appropriate gown, at least. They're asking $425 for her. And then there were China heads. These are a little earlier than the porcelain dolls, although they were also made concurrently. They were a little less expensive. And for a lot of girls out in pioneer areas, this is what was available. This says it has a crack along the hairline, which I see here. It has the leather hands. And here we go, Buddy Lee. He's a very collectible. He came in lots of different outfits. He came famously in this denim outfit. They're asking $185. Honestly, that's retail to me. Here he is as a cowboy. They were done by Lee Jeans. The sailor doll is cute. This is an F&B Skippy. This is Show and Hut. They made a lot of wooden toys. And you'll notice that these pieces are wood here. They did a whole circus, but the top seems to be composition. This is going to date to about 1920. They're asking $285. This is a fairly famous fairy princess doll by Madame Alexander. They're asking $95 for this with the original gown. And this is a Kappe Cruz doll from Germany from the 1930s. And her knits. She's hard to find, and they want $345 for that. This is the only rubber face guy that I'd seen here. He's a big one. They're asking $95. Our friend Barb at Winking Owl Antiques probably has this guy already. Next to it is a Dopey figure. We're asking $45. He's a little cracked here, but he is a marionette, which is interesting considering Dopey didn't really talk. These were made in Brittany in France. They're all carved and have wonderful cutouts, little blanket chests. They have prices around $95 to $125 on them. And wow, do they have a pile of children's books. Delightful Days. This is a great color litho, 1913. That does look delightful. They're asking $6. That doesn't seem bad. Most children's books don't sell for a ton of money, though. She's at the nut market. Mary Poppins, if that's not in great shape. 3 Little Kittens. Yeah, a lot of these are pretty worn, although they're very cute. John Martin's Big Book. And then we have a bunch of 50s era, the Elf books from Rand McNally. They competed with Golden Books. Silver Linings, I'm sure this is poetry. Poetry books don't sell for a lot either, but the graphics are sure fun. Farm Ballads by Rural Carols, and this might be something interesting. It's a little different than some of the other stuff here. Very long ballads with some lithography, some engravings. 1873, To My Mother. Aw. Summer Play. Hey, that's what we're doing. Wedding Chimes. This is Smeat. Oh, but there's a page ripped. Now, I like this because this would go with Easter, and I'm suddenly finding Easter stuff now that it's over. Amos Rabbit Stories. Aw, he seems so sad. He doesn't want to be up in the air. $4, 1944. You know, that's just cute enough. I'll get that one. Holiday Sport. That sounds fun, too. Little Friends, Kittens, Puppies, Bunnies. Aw. Cups and Trissies. Poor kitties. This is a linenette, meaning it's done on linen so they would wash. That's why they held up. This is from 1928. You want $8. Raggedy Ann by Johnny Gruelle. Okay, this is a later Bob's Merrill edition from 1960. Yes, this originally came out 40 years earlier, and those are the ones you really want.
Okay, I'm adding this in because I told you I'd show you those purses I got. What I found out about this sale is that most of the stuff I bought was from an estate sale they brought in. A lot of the dolls and things are from the Rosie Wild Doll Museum, which closed about 10 years ago, and they are still selling pieces off from that huge collection. And so they have this sale once a year, and then they bring another estate in with it, and that's why there was such an interesting variety. So I went crazy for the purses because that was the reason I went to the sale, even though I ended up with a bunch of other stuff. And I'm really happy with what I got. Now this one, I should have probably checked the condition. It's a little loose here at the frame. It doesn't have a chain, but it was only $22, and it's got nice colored beads that are all there. This is a Lucite purse made in Florida. $22 is a great price. I usually get $85 to $100 for these. This one is just a hard plastic, but it had a good look with the rhinestones. I like the color, and for $25 it certainly will sell. And I don't always get the ones with the metal, but I thought this one was in really good shape and the price was right. I got this cute fascinator, that's why I bought the hat stand to go with it. And then as far as the other bags, this one is all bling all day long. This is Joseph. This is a French Joseph rather than a Belgian. And it is just sparkly rhinestone from the 50s. And it just looks so good under a strong light. That's going to sell. This is a cute, I believe, German-made one with a nice frame. This one is Whiting and Davis. I paid up for this one. Whiting and Davis does sell well because of the name. It's black, which is good for holiday sales. And I got a really good deal on the one next to it, so I figured I could wash it out because I only paid $16 for this one. Now, it's got a little bit of wear on this tie, but it's in basically good condition, and what a great pattern. And then these are older. This is from around the turn of the century with nice velvet and all this micro beading, and that was $35. And then this, which I thought was really pretty with all the beading, is from about 1910, and this one I think was $32. So all in all, very, very, very happy with this collection, and that was probably a third of what I spent overall, and I would buy all of them and more if I had the chance again.
Well, I came with $669, including my lucky $2 bill, and they got all of it. This was a very fun sale, great stuff, very pleased with what I got. Their prices were fair, it was interesting, and there were a few real gems in there and some really good deals. So this was great fun. Apparently they do this once a year, and I am going to look for it next year.
If you enjoyed this video, check out this one. Also, click thumbs up to like this video and check the description for information about our Patreon, our memberships. We've got a lot of different levels with different perks and bonus videos and early content. Also, please do check out our website, theantiquenomad.com, for appraisal help, and we'll see you again for more adventures in the antique and vintage community soon. Bye for now.